Sky Squad, we are back in the building today on this Good Friday, and we got to talk Beverly Hills. You know, there wasn't even an episode of Beverly Hills this week, but Beverly Hills has been the topic of conversation all week because the trolls were attacking Garcelle's son left, right, to, from, and center. So much so that Garcelle had to basically post a request on Instagram several times asking if the trolls would leave her son alone. To remind you, she posted this. I'm usually a very strong woman. I've been raised to be strong. My life has taught me to be strong, but when it comes to my kids, it hurts. It's not okay. I've been in tears all night. It's just a TV show, people. Scream at your TV, throw something at your TV, but leave our kids alone. This has to stop. They're just kids. So, this sentiment, as we talked about, was also echoed surprisingly by Lisa Rinna. Now, many people, myself included, we tagged Bravo, we basically, my stance on this whole situation was number one, curtail the ladies who are going at each other on social media. Specifically, Diana has been launching like attack after attack on Garcelle, seemingly unprovoked. I mean, like they've been really deep like attacks on Garcelle. And it felt like to me, Garcelle was just kind of laughing it all and trying to remain above the fray, right? So then once it started to be noticed that some of these accounts that were going after Garcelle's son were very, very interesting. And what do I mean by interesting? Well, I mean, it felt as though for many people that that there were bots being sent after Garcelle's son. And what I mean by bots is someone was creating fake accounts to attack Garcelle's son in his Instagram comments. Okay. So the people online have been doing the research and whatnot. So there's this whole conspiracy about who exactly orchestrated this alleged, let me put alleged, bot attack on Garcelle's son. Okay. Because ironically, the post came after Diana had made reference to trolls doing their worst in another post, yet aimed at Garcelle and labeling her the fan favorite. We've gone over all of this in past videos. If you need to see the evidence, please refer back to past videos that I will place in the description of this video so that you can catch up on the tea that you missed. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we've got some interesting things happening, and we're going to get back to the bots in just 1 second. But before we get to the bots, we've got to address exactly what Bravo did yesterday that made me feel like we were being heard, right? And I think for many of us, it's about being heard. And what I will say to you guys is when you see something, say something. In a situation like this, you see something wrong happening, and then you address the wrong, and then you tag the network, because what we do is there's a way that we can say, hey, there's a problem here. Let's address it. I'm going to tag the network, and then, hopefully the network responds. And this time they did. Thank God. So they said, Bravo posted, "We are shocked and appalled at the social comments directed at Garcelle's son. We urge our viewers and social followers alike to refrain from targeting our cast and their families with harmful rhetoric." Now, when we talk about sending a strong message, this was a very strong message for a lot of different reasons. One, it is my belief that the cast was maybe, I don't know if it was suggested, but it felt like they might have been urged to send the same message. And again, to me, I felt like this is what needed to happen. The cast needs to also come together and urge the trolls, the bots, or whoever it is to stop this madness with regards to all the kids. But specifically in this instance, Jax, who is being viciously targeted by these trolls and or bots, whatever they might be, right? And so you will notice that some cast members seemed reluctant to post this information, okay? What do I mean by that? We'll get to it. We'll get to it because there's rumors going around and we'll talk about those. So, interestingly enough, the pretty mess, as she likes to be called, posted, and she seemingly calling out Bravo for not doing enough when her son was being called out during the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, last I heard, the pretty mess's son was a police officer. And so what she wrote and what someone wrote in the comments was this, and I'll read it to you verbatim. The person wrote, I didn't see Bravo making every post about leaving kids alone when the woke mob was coming after your son for being law enforcement in 2020. The pretty mess liked the liked the comment allegedly, and then wrote back, exactly. Now let me stop right here. The pretty mess revealed on last season's reunion that it was indeed Garcelle who was the first housewife on her franchise to call her, contact her, get in touch with her to check in on her son, on Erika's son, the police officer. It was the Black woman who called and checked on your son. So this post about the woke mob not saying anything or coming after your son, it was this particular castmate who was the first to reach out to you at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. So the very notion that the same woman that cursed out Garcelle's son and wanted to try to orchestrate an alleged three-way with her older son, you got a nerve to write this, calling out the network for being in support of a 14-year-old that's being harassed online? What kind of viciousness is this? Now, let's take things over to our friends over on Instagram, Dame Galley, who many of you guys may know. She runs a very popular podcast called Andy's Girls. I have been a guest on the podcast many times. I've actually had her on my channel to discuss some things as well. And she's written some amazing articles about this very topic of Garcelle's son being attacked by these bots or trolls. And so a site called Bravo and Cocktails happened to post this little interesting tidbit here. Okay. Now it says, not all the BH women wanted to reshare Bravo's statement regarding Garcelle's son. Okay. This is again alleged. All right. And it also goes on to say, Bravo asked them all to, though. It's about to get real at the reunion, which is filming next week, and it's about to get messy. Okay. So, it'll be interesting to see what the pretty mess has to say about all of this then, because as we know, Garcelle tells her next week that they do not have to be friends. Okay. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys recall the Patrick Summers guy who was at the center of controversy between Lisa Rinna and Kathy Hilton a few weeks ago about some things that are going to be happening in Aspen with Kathy Hilton. And there was just a whole lot of drama with regards to him. And whether or not he was allegedly working with Rinna or allegedly working with Kathy Hilton to make some narrative happen, I really don't know. But he posted this, and our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk caught this post. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It says, "Dear viewers, I would like to start off by sending apologies to those affected by our engagement boost to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Garcelle Bouvet's son. I take our social media operation seriously as it's one of our leading services. However, we clearly missed the mark on this one. We are partnered with a third-party offshore service provider for comments, likes, followers, and engagement. I can't speak on the direct nature of what services we were hired to provide, but I am working directly with our vendor to cancel our request. Any racially motivated content I take very seriously and will investigate. Thank you for your continued support. Patrick Summers." So then in the IG stories, it wrote, "Garcelle did not hire my firm to boost engagement. Yes, we are responsible for sending negative bots, but none to my knowledge were ordered to be racist. That's why I'm looking into our partnership with our overseas center. Negative and racist are two very different things." So as you guys can see here, it's allegedly putting a stop order on the transactions. So is this person, is this Patrick Summers person, is what if he was not hired? He is saying he wasn't hired by Garcelle. Who was he hired by? Was it, I mean, who? Because the last time it was alleged that there was hiring by either Kathy or Lisa, okay? But who's hiring you now? And why are you, if this is your business, why would you out yourself in this way? I just don't understand. I don't understand any of this. None of this makes any sense to me. But it does sound like a scandal. And I just don't understand. I feel like I need Olivia Pope on this one to figure this one out. Producers for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I'm gonna need you to just go on ahead and make this cast happen next season, because I just feel like we could take out, we can go ahead and take out the Pretty Mess. We can go ahead and take out Dorit. We can go ahead and take out Diana, and we can go ahead and put Lisa Rinna on pause for a little while, because I feel like, she's just got a lot going, and I just don't know that this is not what we want to see on our screens. And I think if we want to add some fabulosity, some zaniness, and some fun to this show, then I think that this is the cast that we need right here to replace some of those ladies. But that's just my thoughts and opinions on this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.